Today, we will be converting between fractions and decimals using place value. To begin, complete the place value table. If you know how to do this already, pause right now and fill in the table. If you don't remember how to do this, just keep watching the video and I'll explain. Let's start by looking to the left of the decimal point. You see our ones column right here. If we keep going to the left, we'll then have the tens column. Ones we're counting by ones, tens we're counting by tens, which is 10 to the first power. And I'm noticing now that this is a typo. This should say 10 to the 0th power. So that is my fault. I'm really sorry about that. To the left of the tens, we'll have the hundreds. So we're counting by 100 every time in this column, which is 10 to the second power. So all these numbers to the left of the decimal point are bigger than 1, right? Our smallest number is 1, and then as we keep going to the left, those numbers get bigger and bigger. If we go to the right of the decimal point, these numbers are going to get smaller and smaller. And because we use a base 10 system, every time they're going to do this by a factor of 10. Let's look to the left of the decimal point. We know that our second column, to the right, our second column to the right is the hundredths place. Before we get to the hundredths place, we'll go through the tenths place. So every one number in this position, in that spot there, is going to represent a tenth of 1 unit. So we're thinking 1/10. As an exponent, we can represent that as 10 to the negative 1 power. Let's fill in the rest of these as well. Hundredths, that means that every one of those numbers is representing 1/100th. After that come the thousandths. I'll try to fit this in here. That's not going to work. You may consider writing sideways. So each number in this column represents 1/1000th, which is 10 to the negative 3rd power. And let's look at some patterns. If you take a look at these numbers that are exponents, I know that's in the way. We've got 10 to the 2nd power, 10 to the 1st power, 10 to the 0th power. And as we go to the right, my powers keep going down. If we go to the left, my powers keep going up. So based on that, I can fill in the powers in these remaining columns without even knowing what their place value is. And this actually is going to come back into play when you're working on some 8th grade content about scientific notation. So that's a really helpful thing to pay attention to now, is that you notice the power of 10 changes. It goes up as you go to the left and down as you go to the right. All right, so 10 to the 4th power, just like the same pattern here, as a fraction, that's going to be 1/1 with 4 zeros. Or in other words, 1/10,000, making this the 10,000ths column. The next column, we've got 1/1 followed by 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which makes this the 100,000ths column, because each one of those numbers in this column represents 100,000th. This last column that we have is going to be 1 followed by 6 zeros. So you'll note that that's 1/1,000,000. So this will be our millionths column. If you haven't finished filling in this table, please pause the video so that you can fill in the rest of the table now.